friends. So today we are again going to history. So today we are going to learn about the age of the Guptas. Okay, so first let me give you an introduction. So before we learned about many civilizations like age of Mauryas, many. So this is the last of the one of the monarchs of India. So it's known as the Guptas. Okay, and the only speciality is this did not get declined. Okay, so now we can learn about it. So this course started in the 4th century BC, CE. So the 4th century CE saw the rise of the Gupta dynasty in the Ganga Valley. So they covered all parts of northern India. Northern India means it covers that Ladakh, Jammu Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, that area. Okay. So they covered a large part of North India, and their rule lasted for more than, I think so, you won't believe, 200 years. Okay. So they are very important in the history of India, and they are also known as the golden age of the history of India. Why is it is characterized by peace, prosperity, the spirit of religious tolerance, then the progress in the fields of culture and science many. So that's why it's known as the golden age. Okay. So now we can learn about the sources. So all kingdoms will be having any sources, right? Either archaeological or literal. Here we are having both. So in archaeological, we have many temples or Ajanta cave, then Allahabad pillar inscription, then a Gupta coins. That is the coins issued by the Gupta rulers. And then for literalists, the works of Kalidasa. Kalidasa is a court poet. Kalidasa and the accounts of Fahin and Ising. So they are foreign travelers and Chinese pilgrims. So these are the sources. Next is political history. Now we can learn about the Guptas. First is Chandragupta I. So there are three main rulers. There are many, like Kumara Gupta, there is Skanda Gupta, there are many. But the main three are Chandragupta I, Samudra Gupta, and Chandragupta II. Okay, before learning about this, I'll just teach you a small thing. Why are we writing here 1, 2? That is just means. So then I think so. You remember age of Mauryas? There are some Chandragupta Mauryas there now. He's not that much great as this. Hence he is not given like 1, 2. He's not given like that. Here Chandragupta I is very great, and also there are 2 Chandraguptas. So in order to stop that interfering, they used to keep like that. I think so. You know Peter I the Great. Peter I the Great. He's one of the warrior. Okay. So for him also they have kept 1. And like Queen Elizabeth, one type of number, Roman numbers given. So for most of the rulers, they used to give this number. Here we have Chandragupta. So if I take these 2 numbers, it will be so confusing. So we use these types of numbers. Okay. Okay. Now we can learn about Chandragupta I. The first powerful ruler of this dynasty, Gupta dynasty, is Chandragupta I. So he made Pataliputra as his capital. So in Mauryan period also we saw about Pataliputra, right? Okay. So he married the princess of Kumara Devi of Lichabas tribe. So with the help of the Lichabas, he managed to carve out a very large empire which covered Bihar, the most of modern Bihar, and then Jharkhand and eastern Uttar Pradesh. Okay. So he adopted a title known as Maharaja Raja, which means the king of kings. Okay. So next is about Samudra Gupta. So I'm sorry I didn't tell the period of this. 320 to 335 CE. For this 335 to 375 CE. Okay. So Chandragupta I was succeeded by his son Samudra Gupta to the throne. Okay. So Samudra Gupta is the very powerful ruler of this. The age of the Gupta. He is the most powerfulest. So we learn about his conquest through the Allahabad pillar inscription. I told you the sources, right? So Allahabad pillar inscription. So it is located inside a fort of Priyagaj. Okay. So the Allahabad pillar inscription describes all the rulers against which Chandragupta fought. He conquered, and it also rests the number of the rulers as well as the policies in which the Samudragupta followed in order to defeat the rulers. A small fact: Algama inscription also has some of the has details of Emperor Ashoka as well as Emperor Jahangir. So it's known as the diary of different ages of history. So it is called by the historians. Okay. So next is about we learned Samudragupta. No? So we didn't still end it. There are many. Okay. So now we can learn about his conquest. First is he defeated 4 powerful kings. So the first I'll tell you about north, then south, then east, and then the central. Okay. So in the north he defeated 4 powerful kings and numerous smaller kings. So he administrated these areas in directly. Then south, he defeated the rulers of the Deccan as well as the far south, but it is very difficult to rule them from the north, and hence he did not administrate them. He instead made the rulers to assert his suzerainty. I'll tell what's that. And the rulers has to give him many gifts, tributes to Samudragupta. That ruler has to give him that tributes and all. Excuse me. Okay. So suzerainty means, so just think, this is a place. This is a place. Here, this is a ruler. Okay, simply think. This is a ruler. Here, I am the ruler. I defeated him. So now this is the north. This is south. Now I need to administrate him. I cannot administrate directly. So I'll ask tributes from him. That's known as suzerainty. To make another king as the king's king, like a king of kings, like that. Okay. So that only means by suzerainty. So next is about east. He also defeated many kingdoms of the east. For example, Assam, Bengal, and Nepal. And those rulers were also asked to pay tributes as well as gifts. And he defeated the forest tribes of the Punjab and Punjab and the central region. And he also defeated the forest tribe of the Vindhya region. So they also need to pay many gifts to this king. So his direct rule. So the Samudragupta did 2 types. Then direct, indirect. So direct rule extended from Bengal in the east to Delhi in the west. Bengal in the west to Delhi in the east. And his indirect rule extended from Himalayas in the north to Kanchipuram in the south, as well as the northwest frontier of the west to Assam in the east. Okay. So these are the conquest of Samudragupta. So now we can learn about him. So Samudragupta followed many policies in order to defeat these rulers, and by a historian known as Vincent Smith, he is known as he called him as a Napoleon of India. Now you'll have doubt. What's the meaning of Napoleon? So I think I'll be taking class when I'm class 8. Okay. So Napoleon is nothing than he's a ruler of Europe. He brought a large part of France under his control. So that's the main thing about Napoleon. That's all I know. Okay. So Samudragupta was known as the Napoleon of India. He performed the Ashwamedha Yagna to assert his political supremacy. What do you mean by that? Ashwamedha Yagna is horse sacrifice. That's known as Ashwamedha Yagna. Yagna means offering or sacrifice. Ashwamedha means horse sacrifice. Okay. So he is a follower of Hinduism, but he was tolerant to all religions. For example, he granted permission to Megavarna, that's the king of Ceylon in Sri Lanka, to build a Buddhist monastery at Gaya. And another thing is he appointed a Buddhist scholar as a tutor of his own son. Okay, so he is tolerant to all religions, and he is not only a conqueror. You know that. He is also a poet as well as a musician. So we can learn about it from his coins. He is shown playing Veena. Okay. Okay. Now we can learn about Chandragupta II. So these 2 rulers are okay. Now Chandragupta II. He is the 3rd most powerful of all rulers. First Samudragupta, then Chandragupta I, then Chandragupta II. Okay. So the period extends from 375 CE to 450 CE. Okay. So Chandragupta is also one of the most powerfulest rulers of the Gupta dynasty. So he the main policy he did to assert his political supremacy is he was also tolerant to all religions and he also followed Hinduism. He just gave his daughter in marriage to Vakataka king and he gained the power of the Vakataka king and he was able to make his power over all the ports of Bruch, Sappara and one thing I just forgot. So there are 3 ports, so 2 I just remembered. He was able to defeat the Shakas. So the first they were ruling these the 3 ports. So Chandragupta II, he defeated them and he gained power over these ports. And do you know why? Same like in previous lesson. Why did Ashoka conquer Kalinga? Because it is important for trade. Here also same. So it controlled the trade over the Western world. This side of the Western world. Okay. So this added to the prosperity of that empire. Okay. So after gaining the power of the Vakatakas, this Gupta empire reached its peak of glory under Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II is the patron of art as well as science. He has many Navaratnas in his court. Don't think of the Navaratnas in Akbar. Okay, so he also have many Navaratnas in his home, which means 9 gems. And one of them is Kalidasa. He is the most famous and greatest poet and also dramatist of all times. Okay. So next is about later Gupta. So these are the 3 main rulers. So there are many rulers. Now we can learn about them. Excuse me. Okay. So Chandragupta II is succeeded by his son Kumaragupta. Then he is succeeded by his son Skandagupta. And now the empire has been just getting attacked by the invasion of Huns. So they are the 4 tribes. But anyway, Skandagupta, he defeated them very easily. But his successors were still very weak and they were unable of repelling the repeated Huns invasions. So now we can learn about Fahim's account. So in Chandragupta II's period, Fahim visited India. Fahim is nothing than he is a Chinese pilgrim. That he is he is a holy man. He just travels through many holy places. He learns about the many things and there he writes many accounts. So that type of person is known as pilgrim. Okay, so he came to India in 405 CE. Why did he come? What's the use? The main reason why he came is actually Chinese. Most of them I think so they worship Buddhism, right? So he came to India to study the Buddhist sculptures. Actually, Buddha is born in India, right? So he came to India to learn about the Buddhist sculptures. He came to India 405 CE, spent the next 6 years in visiting all types of the Buddhist sculptures. And at last he wrote a great account of his life in India and the life aspects under the Guptas. Okay, now we are going to learn about his account. First is administration. So in all kingdoms, monasts, republics, whatever it is, civilization, anything, king is the first supreme authority, right? So he took all their decisions according to the administrative matters. Here, the Gupta kings, they afforded many titles to get their political supremacy. For example, Chandragupta I asserted the title of Maharaja the Raja, right? So like that, all the rulers made some names, adopted some titles. So in this administration, the king is assisted by a group of council of ministers only in administrative matters. Then the empire is divided into provinces. So the provinces is headed by a prince, and he is assisted. So the province is also called Guptas, and he is assisted by Kumaramatiyas. So before we learn about Amatyas, here Kumaramatiyas. Then that is divided into district or Vishayas. So surely, who's the head? Vishayapati. Vishayapati. Okay. So he is also the district is he is assisted by a council of members. They include the local citizens as well as a few government officials. So they assist the Vishayapati. That is divided into the smallest administrative unit called the village. So the village is headed by the headman and he is assisted by the village elders. This is about the administration. So yeah, I forgot to tell this. So the Gupta administrations are also decentralized. I'll tell in the last, but if I tell now, you'll be greatly confused. So all the rulers, they got power from the central, they got power from the central authority, and they had freedom to rule the area, their territories on their own independence. So, but strong rulers kept a check on these officials, and hence they cannot have full independence. But weak rulers, so under the weak rulers, these rulers had their own freedom. They can do whatever they want, right? Okay, now what's the meaning of decentralization? Okay, so think I am the central government, and this pencil as a state government. So now I'm very tired, and I'm not functioning well. So what they will do? They will take the power from me and they will give to the state government. That's the meaning of decentralization. So from the central they will give to the officials. Can you understand that? Decentralize. Can you understand? Society. You'll be very amazed in this. So the people of the Gupta were very happy and prosperous. Prosperous means very wealthy. So they were very prosperous and they were very happy. So according to Fahin, can I tell it? They never closed their houses. Just leave it open, even when they sleep. Why? Because there weren't more thefts or more like stealing, killing, murdering, nothing. And all the people were honest, law-abiding. So these accounts are due to so these we get from the Fahin's account. Okay. So this is about the society, but still there. So the four caste system became very rigid. We already know the Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. It became very rigid, but they were subcaste. Okay. So one of them is the untouchables, Chandalas. So they were considered to be very ugly, which means something else to the high caste people, such that they should live away from the town. Okay. So whenever they come to the city for marketplace or anything, they have to strike a piece of wood so that the other people would keep some distance away from the people and they may not look or talk to them. So they became very rigid during this period, and then these Chandalas were treated very badly. And the women's position further declined. It declined a lot, and they were considered to be more inferior to men, and their lives were surrounded by the male members of their family. And they soon married, and they did not get any education, and many rules were for many widows. Okay, so this is about the main society. So all these we get from the Fahin's account only. Education. So it's a great thing we are gonna learn in this. So I think so this in the under education only science will also come, but we'll be learning it separately. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So the Gupta rulers, they encouraged education. Okay. So Kumaragupta, he founded the Nalanda University. Okay. So the Nalanda University is one of the biggest resident universities in the world. So in there, not only Hinduism as well as Buddhism is taught. Even grammar, logic, medicine were also taught in that university. So it attracted scholars from all across India as well as from and across the world too. And the other famous universities include Taxila, Ujjaini and Bhuj. So these are a few names of the other universities of this period. Now I'll tell you about a few facts about Nalanda University. It's the first, biggest university in the world. And there are about 10,000 students are studying there and about 2,000 teachers work there. And if a student wants to get administrated there, he need to get admission there, he is interviewed by senior monks. So they just get interviewed like entrance exam, like the same. So they interview him by writing some exams, and they see whether the child is very keen and very serious to learn. If so serious, then he is granted admission. A fact, the library of this Nalanda University is spread over 3 buildings, and one of them is Mr. Ratna Sagar, which means the ocean of gems. Okay. So education we completed. The religion. So most of the Gupta rulers, they are the followers of Hinduism, and a few are Buddhism as well as Jainism. But still most of the rulers are tolerant to other religions too. Okay, for example, Samudragupta, he appointed Vasubandhu, and Buddhist tutor to sorry, not a tutor, he's a Buddhist scholar as his son's tutor. Okay, so thus we can learn that all rulers are tolerant to all religions. So with the people, the Gupta people following all types of religions, they lived in harmony and peace. But so with the growing Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism, they lost their importance. And after some time, the policy of bhakti, which means the selfless devotion, got popular. So it's nothing that it's not very easy than selfless devotion, and it depends on the love and faith of the devotee. So the masses were greatly they were attracted to this type of the bhaktas, which means selfless devotion. That's about religion. Economy. So in every it can be whatever it is, agriculture is the main occupation, and here also the main revenue is from land. Here both inland as well as the overseas trade, which means the foreign trade, flourished. Excuse me. Okay, now we can learn about the trade. So the main trading centers are Tamilnadu, that's Tamlak, Bruch, Sapara, Kalyan. So these are few of the Guptas, few of the main centers of the trade during the early Guptas. This happened in early Guptas. So the main the things which were what they traded. So India actually traded with Southeast Asia, Western Asia, Africa, and few Mediterranean countries. So few of the things, objects which were traded are spices, precious stones, then perfumes, textiles, ivory. So these are a few of the things which were traded. Okay, and yeah, of course, economy is completed. Next is art and architecture. Okay. Okay, now we can start. Just got forgotten one thing. Okay. So in economy, I just forgot to tell you one thing else. That is, so this trader got declined. So do you know why it told in the early Guptas? So in early Gupta, the trade was flourished. It flourished good, but in the later Guptas, it just got declined. So this may be because of the invasion of the Huns. So because of this, the trade may have got declined, and the towns and cities which were dependent on this trade also got suffered a lot. So the next is about art and architecture. So the first is the Gupta rulers are all Hinduism, and they gave many donations for building temples. So the temples during this period was very small. They consisted of only one room. So in that, the picture of the statue, the picture of the deity is kept. But soon after ages, they become very, very big. For example, the Dasavatara temple at Diogar, which is near, it's near Jhansi, and the temple at Sanchi. So these are a few of very beautiful temples, and the temple at Bittergon, it's near Janpur. So these are a few of the temples, very beautiful temples. So they are constructed with the help of white stone as well as marbles. Okay. So next is about art. So many Buddhist the monasteries were also built during this time. So one of the most famous one is, so these Buddhist monasteries are also cut into caves from hills. One most famous is Ajanta caves, the one in Ajanta. So it has the paintings, one also murals from the it has the paintings from the life of the Buddha. Okay. So this art scaled new heights under the Guptas, the age of the Guptas. So many statues of Hindu gods and goddesses, as well as the Buddha and Mahavira, were found. Most famous one is the seated Buddha from Sarnath. It's nothing than a Buddha in the pose of preaching. It'll be like this, something like this. He'll be sitting and folding his leg, like he's preaching something else. So he's in the position of preaching, as well as, and halo will be there. Halo means like this. Okay, so when he's in the statues like this, he'll be having something like this. It seems to be like crown, but it's not a crown. It's known as halo. The halo, it represents his spiritual strength. So next is about the most critical thing known as literature. Okay. Now we learn about the literature. So most of the Gupta rulers are patrons of art as well as they are patrons of literature. So the most famous one is Kalidasa. Okay. So Kalidasa is one of the 9 gems. So yeah. So we learn about his attempts from the Alagavat inscription too, because it is written by Harisena. He's a court poet. Okay. So the main, he is the most famous poet and also dramatist of this period. Some of his works include Megadatta, Rajavamsa, then Ritu Sambhava, Kumara Sambhava, Kumara Sambara, and Abhinyanya Sagundalam. So these are sorry, Abhinyanya Sagundalam is a play. It's not a work. It's just a play. Okay. So these are the literature of Kalidasa. So there are also many other writers too. So one of the, do you know Pachadendra? I'll tell a story at the last. It'll be very interesting. Okay. So the Pachadendra is actually the main author is Vishnu Sharma. But nowadays in all books they are writing the author write his own name, but the real author is Vishnu Sharma. Okay. So the study of language, also mainly grammar, lexicography and Sanskrit, that Sanskrit language flourished during this period. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, science. So most of the branches of science, which includes astronomy, metallurgy, astronomy, metallurgy, mathematics and medicine flourished during this period. So now we can learn about all of these one by one. Astronomy. So the main 2 astronomers during this period is Aryabhatta as well as Aryabhatta and Varahamihira. So these are the 2 main astronomers during this period. Now we can learn about Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta is one of the greatest astronomers. He found 2 things. That is, he found that the earth is moving around the sun and it spins around its own axis. He wrote Aryabhatiyam, which has the solutions to many mathematical problems, and he found the use of 0 in decimals. And Varahamihira, he wrote an Brihad Samhita, that's an encyclopedia of science. Next is about mathematics. So numerals, numbers are first invented by we Indians. So who first found in 0? We Indians only. Okay. So from us, the Arabs learned. So from us, the numericals they went to Arabs and they made it much improved. And the Europeans they learned from the Arabs. So here this numerals has been made very advanced. So next is about metallurgy. Metallurgy is nothing but study of metals, like how many elements they have, their nuclear fusion, how much molecules they have, then their purity. All those study are known as metallurgy. Okay. So the main thing in which we can learn about the metallurgy highly advanced is nothing. They're not in India. What's there? Iron pillar at Mehrali. It's in Delhi. Okay, it's in Mehrali. So it's a rustless wonder. But I know what they did. What they did is nothing done. It's made up by iron. But if it's only made by iron, means it will rust. As it is made in 4th century, it may have rusted a lot. More than 26th century it has passed. It may have rusted a lot. But why it didn't? I know why. Can I tell? It is coated by a layer of hydrogen. So this hydrogen, it just reflects the oxygen away, oxygen moisture away, and it does not, and that's why it just protects the iron from inside the iron pillar, and it does not get rusted. That's the reason. Okay, it's very easy. They may have mixed copper in it. Some other metal they have mixed, and they put the iron at the outer layer. Okay, so that's why it's not rusting. So it's at Mehrali. Next is about the Gupta coins. So the Gupta coins are mostly made of gold. So from that also we can learn about the metallurgy followed during this period. Next about science. Okay. Now next is about medicine. Okay. In medicine, Dhanvantri, he is the most biggest famous physician during this period. So, and Asma, Asma Simha, Asma Simha. So it is an textbook about. It contains. It's a medicinal book. It has all the animal diseases in it. It has all the It lists all the animal diseases, symptoms, and the precautions to be taken written in it. So the medicine was also highly advanced during this period. Okay. So now we can have a summarization of the lot. So there are still. So there's nothing then. The Gupta period with its monarchs and stable government and the what can I tell, the improvements in the field of science, paintings, art, architecture, literature, along with the advanced science which helped the progress for civilization. It still did not get declined, and it's called as the many historians call it as the Gupta golden age of the history of India. Can you understand? So now we can learn about the summarization. So we learn about introduction, then sources, political history, then three main rulers who are Chandragupta I, Samudragupta, Chandragupta II, then later Guptas. Then for his account, in that we learned about administration, society, education, religion, economy, art and architecture, literature and science. Okay, thank you friends. See you in the next class. Bye bye.